Okay, hi. Oh wait, I should introduce myself first. Okay, hi, I'm Carrie. Caroline, Carrie Auntie, whatever you want to call me. You can call me anything, any of those names I should specify. So I did a poll on my community page about what kind of long form content you guys would like to see because I kind of want to do more of this. And you guys said story times, and I'm like, oh, okay. So story time, and why not start with the time I got kidnapped? Yay! I have a good attitude about this story because I did not, in fact, get kidnapped, hence me telling you the story today. But the attempt is what I'm gonna tell you guys. Where I'm from, we have something called ZRs, if you will. It's a type of public transportation. What happened is that I was taking a gap year from school, and during this gap year I needed to apply to the college, my local college. It was between two courses that I wanted to take. Not really. There was more one than the other that I wanted to take, but the other one was the one I was okay with taking if I had to, and that was theater. So that day was the audition of the theater because you have to take auditions to get into the course. So this was also my first time going to this campus by myself. Normally my mother would take me to the campus, but this time she had to go to work, and so I had to take the ZR to the campus. Okay, so I go to the campus, I do the audition. I hated it. I really don't like performing. I like being a background character, if you get what I'm saying. I do not have main character syndrome. That is just not me. So I kind of hated it, and I was so happy it was over. I was a little miserable because I did find the whole process just grueling. So I cannot wait to get home. I'm the first person to leave. I go down to my bus stop and I wait for the ZR. Now, where I'm from, the ZR vans has certain numbers for certain routes. I was told to take the number 19. I'm waiting at the bus stop and I'm not seeing any vans. Like, I was standing out there for a good 30 minutes to an hour. Who knows? I almost kind of collapsed due to the heat, and I was sick of it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. What if I just start walking? Because I truly didn't live that far, but at the same time, it was quite a walk where it would be beneficial to just take the van up to my house. But I'm like, you know what? Let's start walking. So I start walking, and as soon as I move away from the bus stop, the 19 van passes me. And I'm like, no, because if you're not at the bus stop, the van isn't going to stop for you. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so fine. So I walk to the next bus stop and I wait again. Okay, and I wait and I wait and I wait. Nothing comes for an hour and a half, waiting to just go home when I could have been home already if I started walking, right? So I give up again. And then as soon as I take a step again, I see another 19 van come up to the bus stop, but this time I get it. Okay, so this time I get it. And you know what's so funny about this story is that another creator had mentioned about the possibilities of a kidnapping happening. So I get in the van. Awesome. There's people in the van, and you know, they do their job. Every stop they stop at, more people get off. Not really anyone's coming on, and that's fine. That's normal, right? And so it turns out that I was the last person in the van, and I'm just minding my business because my stop is the next stop after the last person got out. So now I'm the only person in the van besides the driver and the conductor, right? And the conductor is the person who takes the bus fare, right? It just takes the fare for the van. So it's just me and two men in the van by myself, and most of the time they just do their job and put me on the next stop. This time, however, they drove right past my stop, and I'm like, you know what, that's okay, because sometimes they stop at a gap where they know people go home through. So I'm thinking they're just gonna stop at that next stop. That's fine. They're gonna stop at the gap. That's fine, right? So I'm looking at the gap. The Gap is right in front of us, and we drive past the Gap, and I'm like, oh. So I signaled to the guy, hey, you passed my stop twice. I pressed the bell and everything. I pressed the bell for both. You passed my stop twice. What's up? This guy, the driver, this guy is going to tell me, oh, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna stop by my friend to pick something up and then I'll take you back home. What? What? I don't understand. My stop was right there. Why don't you just put me at my stop? You know? And they're like, no. I really need to go pick this up from my friend. So when I'm done, I will circle back and take you back home. And I'm like, absolutely not. This is not happening today, because I was already vexed. I was already upset. Oh, I was so upset. I was already so upset that I missed the ZR that could have taken me home. I was standing out in the sun for an hour and a half. I'm tired. I hated the audition. I was having a bad day. And then lastly, my mother was going to be upset that I didn't make it home that day. Could you believe it? I was more scared of my mom not finding me at home at the end of the day than these men trying to take me off somewhere. It's so crazy. I live in the Caribbean, guys. Okay, our priorities are a little bit twisted, but yeah, so that was my main thing. It's like, my mom is going to be upset if I'm not home, and I cannot handle that right now. I cannot handle that. Her shouting at me that I'm not home is my last straw. So what I did is, because they're still driving at this point, guys, okay? They're still driving. Like, I am several stops away from where I'm supposed to be. So what I did, I'm like, nah. And I go to the door. I go to the side of the door of the van, and I opened it myself. I did. I opened it myself, and as soon as I opened it, the bus driver and the conductor started cussing me out like if I'm in the wrong. I'm like, I'm not going with you today, right? Because you wouldn't get me off at my stop, right? They're like, girl, are you crazy? Shut that door. Shut that door. Like, they're cussing me out. I'm like, hello, you're upset at me? I'm so confused, right? So I take the door, I hold it open. This guy is trying to close the door on me. I'm like, you're not taking me nowhere for me to get dropped in the ditch anywhere, right? So I jump out of the van. And at this point, we're by a bunch of cane field. It's cane field, okay? And it's sugar cane field, by the way, out picture there, right? That's where I am. And I have to walk all the way back home. Back to my stop, then back home, because it was a little bit of a walk away from my stop. So I'm pissed beyond belief. But I make it back home. I said hi to my cat, and I took a nap. But yeah, that's how I almost got kidnapped. Was I kidnapped? Do you classify that as kidnapping? Is it kidnapping once you've been taken to the location, or is it kidnapping when you're, I don't know. Guys, tell me down in the comments, please. Like, at what point is it considered kidnapping? But yeah, that was my story time. It was a little bit short, but tell me how you guys felt about it, and like the video for more. Comment what else you think I should do for the long form videos. Tell me if I should do more story times, and subscribe to get the next one. Goodbye.